I'm really mad. Oh God, child labor is laboring.
Yeah, is it okay or no? Yeah, I still have a gap.
Oh my! Oh! Woo! We need to take it down! What's up, Brite Nation?
What's up, guys? What's up, Brite Nation?
All right, so as you can see, we have mostly all of our vehicles out in the front of our house right now, front of the Brite homestead. We look like drug dealers.
It looks
we look like a drug dealer house.
If you're wondering why they're parked all weird and cattywampus, is because we have a really good, I think, kind of fun video for you today.
So what we're gonna do is we are gonna have the first ever flex off with all of the Brite Nation vehicles.
Should I grab the side-by-side too? Do we care? Do we care about the side-by-side?
We can pull the side-by-side out.
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Why not? We'll pull it all out too. But we attempted to park them all in such a way that we don't have to move them, that we can get the forklift, child labor over here, to all the front wheels so that we can lift them up, and we're legitimately going to measure and find out which of our vehicles has the best flex.
The child labor of love.
No, well, I'm definitely going to win. But I am curious what you guys think. Which vehicle do you think is going to win? And for those of you that might be new to the channel, let's go ahead and meet the contestants. Okay, so here is our temporary flex wall. We plan on making a legitimate one to go into the daycare center, into the shop, because we want to also do this when we have rigs come in to get built and stuff. We want to add it to it, kind of like, what is it called? Top Gear. Kind of like the Top Gear speed around the track thing.
I'm shirtless because we're getting ready to go to the beach in like 3 or 4 days, so I'm trying to get a base tan. Brittany's been laying out every day in a bikini, but right now I guess she's being a little reserved.
Why would I do this in a bikini?
I don't know.
There's a difference. I'm not laying out. I'm actually working.
So this technically isn't super fair right now because you should all be aired down to the same PSI, because the more aired down you are, the higher the forks will go into the tire. It's not technically more flex, but it is, because your tire would be squishing on the wall or whatever. But the stepchild right now is at like 35 PSI, and the Ultra 4 is at like 30 PSI. So these two are at full pressure. Now Brittany's at like
6
or 8, and the sister wife is at like 10 or 12. So if
I'm at like 35.
yeah.
Don't exclude me.
Okay, that's fair.
Anyway, guess in the comments which out of the 8, 9. What do we have?
8. There are 8 rigs we're gonna test today.
So guess who's number 1, which is the most flex, all the way down to the least
Who do you
flex.
think will have the least flex? Anyways, if we do have a close enough tie towards the top, we'll air down. If it's one of the ones that have a lot of pressure in it, we'll air it down and do it again. Yeah, we'll make sure it's accurate. But in the meantime, we're gonna start our flex wall. Okay, so first up, we're gonna do the sister wife, because she's a new kid on the block, and we really actually are curious to see what the articulation is really like, because when we took it wheeling in the very last video for the first time ever, we noticed she kind of seemed to have some binding issues when it came to articulation. So we are kind of curious to see how good and or bad it does perform today.
Brittany!
What?
What are those? So it's crazy. The rear is flexed out really big, and the front, for some reason, is not flexing out very much. I mean, that's not much better than the stepchild right now. You can see we're not anywhere near touching bump stop, and look how much shock we have left. Like, I mean, that's crazy. This should be at least up at 50 inches, 49, 50.
Now keep in mind too, though, this is not a real world indication of like articulation of how a vehicle might flex on the trails, because when you're on the trail, you don't have 3 tires on the same plane or the same axis. You've got 1 tire here, 1 tire there, 1 tire way up here, 1 tire. So it can vary in real life, but this is just a fun test. But I think we might be able to do more with this if we take out the rear sway bar.
So we're gonna disconnect the rear sway bar. We're gonna let it back down, disconnect the rear sway bar, and see if maybe it's like keeping it from actually flexing more, trying to keep the body flat. So I don't know, we're gonna pull it off real quick and see, but the rear is flexing like crazy, and the front, you can see, like, I have these set at 7 inches, so it's only compressed 2 inches, which is crazy. This thing should be shoved all the way up in there. Like this should be touching, here. Like this to here is 5.5 inches, and look how much shock is left, is exactly 5 inches. So this should be a 1/2 inch away from here.
I'll go ahead and let it down, Chris, and we'll see how the rear sway bar affects it. Alright, rear sway bar disconnected. Let's try this again. Kevin's just holding the steering wheel straight so it doesn't turn off of the forklift. Come forward a bit. There you go. Wait, you're just squishing the tire. How is that even fair? Just keep going. One more. Right there, she's spinning.
What's spinning?
Look at this.
The back tire.
Look at this tire. Look at that.
Well, that's what happened. Okay, so that didn't do anything. We're still at 43 1/4.
So it wasn't the rear sway bar.
So the rear sway bar didn't do anything.
And just so you guys know, to make this as simple as possible, we're just measuring from the bottom of the forklift, basically.
Right at the edge of the tire, wherever the edge of the tire is at the forklift. I just gotta figure out why the front end's so tight.
I think something's wrong with the actual shock shaft because it's just not compressing at all. So I'm thinking it might be new shocks. But for this test, doesn't make a difference. We're doing it as is right now, which means that sister wife got 43 inches and 1/4. So what we're doing is we're literally just going to write the measurements here, and then we'll put them in order from first to last when we're done. Now next up
is child's play. So this is gonna be in the race ready situation. So front and rear sway bars, tires at 30 PSI, nothing's changed for just the flex off. I could pull the front sway bar and maybe get more flex maybe, but this is front and rear sway bars connected and ready to race.
Assuming we're about to cross the starting line of King of the Hammers, this is how it's set up. Let's go.
Right there. Thing.
No, it's still, that rear tire's still up. There it goes. Keep going. There it goes. All right, down just a tad. Right there you go, right there. Woo! Where we at? Where we at?
46.
46 inches.
No, that is 30 PS on the tire. Look, we're not squishing
I know, we're not.
tire.
We're not like squishing the
So
tire.
that's probably 40. That's probably 48, 49 with 10 PSI, but
we'll see where the side chick's at, and if we need to, we'll come. Tire
exactly
pressure.
46 inches. For a race car that also rock climbs, that also goes fast, and all that's good.
That's not too bad at all.
Happy with that.
Yeah. Now keep in mind, Child's Play is one of our most well and properly set up off-roading rigs, in addition to obviously the Stepchild and Side Chick. It's super well equipped and well built for what it was intended to do, but it got 46 inches.
You know what? Put AD for air down and FP for full pressure or something, maybe.
Oh, yeah,
That's
okay.
like a little.
So like where they put like a W for wet, like when it's a wet.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. How about instead we just do literally what the pressure is? 10 PSI and 30 PSI. That way you know exactly what the pressure was.
There you go.
Now next up is Phoebe, aka the foreign exchange student, which is Chris's rig.
Now mind you, she's on radius arms and stock shocks. They're just 2-inch over stock terra firma shocks. So,
And like 35 PSI?
and 35 pounds on 35s. So let's see what happens.
We'll see. There she is. Oh, you got your front off the ground too. Come down just a hair. There you go. You're good. That's fine. That's so cute.
loser is
24 inches.
24 inches.
Yeah.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
She's gonna have a little bit of surgery soon. So
Okay.
There's a full build series coming on the channel when he gets all the parts for this. So
Stay tuned.
yeah.
24 inches, which means next up is my pride and joy, the side chick. And if you didn't think that the side chick was gonna get first place, I have a feeling you're gonna be sadly disappointed in just a second. Yeah, baby! Look at that! Yeah, there you go. Down just a tad. Right there. I love this thing! We are at
51 inches.
51 inches. Woo! Hold it there for a sec. Let me just get some beauty shots. Alright. I don't know about you guys, but I think we just found our winner. But we'll see. We have a few more rigs to go. Side chick, 51 inches. We're like 6 PSI. But
I thought you were at 53 inches last time, but I don't know.
I think I was, but I think we measured differently, whether it was at the bottom of the tire or the top of the forklift. That can obviously make a difference. But this is where it's about to get fun because next up is child support. Holy sh! This might have more articulation than your rig! Hey, 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 hey! There you go. Oh my god! That's so wicked! That's not bad!
19 and a half inches.
19 and a half! Woo!
Wait, let me disconnect the sway bar.
I'm not gonna lie, that's actually a little bit more than I was expecting for some reason.
We can disconnect the sway bar though. It has the heavy duty upgraded sway bar for like, I forgot what it was, for the PTO, for the power takeoff up front, having a snow plow. It has a heavier duty sway bar than a normal F450.
That's pretty impressive. I mean, for what it is, right? I think so. Okay, so 19 and a half inches for child support. Now, granted, it's at how much PSI?
Like 110 PSI
Like
with the sway
100,
bar.
like 110 PSI.
With the sway bar.
With the heaviest duty sway bar out of probably all of these rigs.
All right, next up.
Is Wild Child. The front sway bar is disconnected on this one at least.
All right.
Yep, that's it. Right there.
21 inches.
Beats ain't losing.
Okay, so 21 at 15 PSI for the Wild Child. Now we are gonna be saving the best for last, and I actually don't mean the Stepchild. We're gonna save the Supra for last because obviously I'm letting them do this to my Supra just purely solely for y'all's entertainment. So we're gonna save the Little Red Rocket for last. Next up is the Stepchild. Now keep in mind the Stepchild is again aired up to like 30, 32 PSI. So that's gonna definitely limit the articulation on the Jeep this time around. A little more, right there, down just a bit. Perfect. Alex is here. Hey. She also doesn't have an exhaust on right now at all. Oh my God. What are we at?
Looks like we got 36 and a half.
36 and a half. So that's definitely several inches shorter than normal, but again, we're usually at like 10 PSI when we're aired down, so it definitely does make a difference, but can't get over how it sounded. Okay, so 36 and a half, but again, that's at like 30, 32 PSI. So I think I think Kevin really wants to air the Stepchild down to do that again to get its maximum potential out of that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's not okay.
He's like, that's not an acceptable measurement, so we're gonna do this again after we air down.
All right, so I aired down to 10 PSI, and the reason I'm in the Jeep is because I have to hold the brake, because there's no drive shaft. So if we lift it up in the air, it might roll off the forklift. Forks, maybe.
Which would definitely be no bueno. So we are gonna try to avoid that again. And yeah, we'll have Kevin in the Jeep this filming. All right, go. All right, so you can see by airing down, it allows the forks to squish up into the tire like you would normally see when you're off-roading. The rock gets to mold into the tire, which gives you just a little bit more articulation, so to speak. Right there, down just a teensy bit. Right there, yep. All right. Now let's try this again. Bearing down. Holy crap. So just over 42 and a half, right about, we'll say 42 and 3/4. So that, guys, that gave us almost 6 inches of extra travel essentially. So it kind of goes to show the importance of airing down when you're off-road, not just for comfort, but also when you're up on rocks. Having the ability for your tires to mold around things can definitely help, not just in traction, but also in lifting tires up off the ground. Okay, so with it aired down, we're at 42 and 3/4, and that's at 10 PSI, which honestly makes me think that we might have to redo Child's Play air down, because Child's Play at 30 PSI is 46 inches. If we air it down, if the stepchild gains 6 inches by airing down, it might gain enough to beat the side chick aired down.
Uh-oh. But
No, we don't need to air it down. It'll be fine. No,
I'll
no,
never
need to air it down.
air that down though.
Should we air it? I don't know. You guys let us know, because it is not an aired down rig. It is not a crawler.
Right, so that's why.
But this is solely an articulation
I'll go air it down
test.
while you do your Supra.
Okay, so next up is my little red rocket, which again, this is very obviously purely for and giggles, and maybe to see how big of a driveway I can drive into in my Supra. But I am genuinely curious to see how it does. And feel free to go ahead and guess in the comments below what you think the articulation of my drag car is gonna be. Gently, gently. He just raises it up and, yeah.
Perfect.
Oh my God. Why are we doing this? It's just like going up a curb that's like, an angle. I've pulled tire before in the Supra. I've been on 2 wheels. Ooh, look at that stuff though. Oh my God, that fitment is perfect. There it goes. Look at it go. Oh, there it goes. Woo!
Look at that back. 10 inches.
10 inches!
A whole penis length.
Oh, wait, what?
What?
Look at that.
I'm kind of a Fitment king.
Fitment. Oh my God.
Look at that rear
wheel
too.
too.
Look at that rear too.
Look at this.
This is Kevin's Fitment. Look at this. Like you can't even get a card in there.
So perfect. I love it so much. It's stuffed, full stuffed in the rear right now. It's almost like she's on air suspension. Woo! All right,
back to the Ultra 4.
back to the Ultra 4. For real, I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as I have a feeling I am not about to enjoy this next bit, because something tells me the bomber is about to beat the side chick in this little flex off right now. All right, round 2, Kevin aired this down to 6 PSI, which is about what the side chick was at. So you can see it just essentially flexes the tire to give you that extra bit of space, which is about the same, like I said, as going up over a rock. Oh my God.
Gas or what?
I'm really mad. Oh God, child labor is laboring.
Yeah, is it okay or no? Yeah, I just don't have a gas.
Oh my,
whoa.
Woo! Look at the inside of the tire! Don't pull the bead off.
Oh, yeah.
Woo!
Well, let's just go to here, because 53 inches!
That! Dang it! That's technically not even off the ground.
Look how much this leans over.
I know, look at this.
And
Guys,
that's
look.
with front and rear sway bars. That's not without, that's with front and rear sway bars.
Just guys, look at how stable the body is still. despite the fact that that tire is that hard in the air. That's pretty impressive.
Well, dang it. Okay.
I won.
All right.
Technically, you don't win. This is our vehicle.
It's true. That's true.
The whole 4 car is ours, so we just split the win. But technically, I'm still overall in the lead because I have first place and second place. So I'm like 1.5, and Kevin's just a half. It's fine. I don't know about you guys, but I'm gonna call cheater pumpkin eater on that last one. You didn't. There's no way there were only 6. There's 6 psi in those tires. There was like 0.
No, there were 6 pounds.
I don't know. You go pull it. It still goes. Psh. It still has.
Okay, so like 3 ps. It had. Anyways.
Either way, I won.
Anyways, that's fine. He didn't see what I said earlier. But this is the final results, you guys. So again, this is hair in my mouth. This is something that we want to do in the future every time we have builds come through the shop. Do something kind of like Top Gear where we can kind of put them in order. But
Yeah, we'll just keep a running list.
It'll be better than this. We're gonna actually get like magnetic strips and stuff and just put them right on the wall of the daycare center, which I think will be pretty rad. Obviously, the loser for the day, big surprise there.
The Ford actually was the biggest surprise of the day.
Dude,
Pretty surprised.
Yeah.
Child support
19
almost
inches?
beat, sort of. It was close.
Hey, she's gonna be up there in the top 5 soon.
The most disappointing was my sister wife.
Yeah.
The
but-
back flexed insane. The front, I don't know. I think it has something to do with those ORIs.
Yeah, the stepchild shouldn't be that close in articulation to what's essentially supposed to be kind of a juggy buggy. Anyways, we have to go through the rig. Again, we've only wheeled it once. We figured out some of the little things we need to change about it, so stay tuned for that in the future. But anyways, you guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Remember, you can find all of your Lite Brite Nation merch and decals at litebritstudios.com. We love you so much, and we will see you next time.
Later, guys.
Mwah. So again, we decided to do this on an extremely hot day, and I
didn't even have my shirt on all day, and I'm fine.
I have the worst tan lines, and I'm about to go to the beach. I'm so disappointed. But something that's gonna make me a little bit happier is, guys, we actually forgot one of our vehicles. Bonus round. Oh my God.
That's tires on the ground.
That's it.
It's actually very like real thing.
It's very accurate to the bomber, actually. All right, where's our tape measure?
Almost as much as the Supra.
7.5 inches. The RC bomber has almost as much flex as my real size Toyota Supra. What's up, Lite Brite Nation?
What's up, Lite Brite Nation? I don't know what that was. What was
What is that?
He's mute today.
Yeah.
What? What's up, Lite Brite
Nation?
What?
I was saying it with you.
Hi. Take 3.